There are a lot of ways of comparing two quantities. The main ones are additive comparisons, which use addition and subtraction, and multiplicative comparisons, which use multiplication and division. This is Math Teacher Barbie, and let's talk about comparing quantities. Consider some scenarios. Maury ate 4 more apples this week than Lester ate. Does it seem like Maury ate significantly more apples? And what guesses can you make about Maury and Lester? Another scenario. Nikki's apple tree grew 4 more apples than Carrie's this year. Does it seem like Nikki's and Carrie's apple trees are very different? Finally, Opa's orchard grew 4 more apples than Jan's orchard this year. Do you think a difference of 4 more apples means one orchard is better than the other one? What's the difference in each of these scenarios? Compare Maury and Lester and the number of apples they each ate. We don't really know how many each ate, but we do have a general sense of how many apples people tend to eat in a week. Someone who really likes apples might eat at most about 2 apples a day, but that's rare. Most of us typically eat 1 or 0 apples most days. So for Maury to eat 4 more than Lester means that Maury really did eat a lot of apples compared to Lester. Now, in the second scenario, individual apple trees vary a lot depending on care, size, age, and more. But let's assume Nikki's and Carrie's are just in their yards and they both produce around 100 apples a year. How does 4 extra apples really compare to a total of 100-ish? Would you even notice if 4 apples were missing out of 100? Take that a step farther to an entire orchard where there might be 100 trees. An orchard's also going to maximize the number of apples each tree grows. Let's assume each tree makes 300 apples a year. That's easily 30,000 apples per year per orchard. I know I certainly wouldn't notice 4 apples difference between Opa's and Jan's orchards when we're talking about tens of thousands of apples. Up to this point in school math, we've typically used an additive comparison style. We answer the question, how many more, by using subtraction. When we subtract Maury's apples minus Lester's apples, we get 4 apples. When we subtract the other scenarios, we also get differences of 4 apples. But that difference of 4 apples is more or less meaningful depending on the context. 4 apples is a lot when we're talking about how many a child eats per week. 4 apples is practically meaningless when we're talking about the difference in production between 2 orchards. Let's be specific. Pretend Lester ate 1 apple this week. Then Maury must have eaten 1 plus 4, or 5 apples. Maury ate 4 more apples than Lester. But Maury also ate 5 times as many apples as Lester. But what if Lester ate 2 apples this week? Then Maury must have eaten 2 plus 4, or 6 apples. Maury still ate 4 more apples than Lester. However, if we regroup the apples, we can see that Maury also ate 3 times as many apples as Lester. Finally, one more example. Pretend Lester ate 4 apples this week. Then Maury must have eaten 8 apples, which is 4 more than Lester. By regrouping again, we can see that Maury ate twice as many apples as Lester. The more apples than language is called additive comparison. We find this difference. We find how many more than by subtracting. The times as many apples as language is called multiplicative comparison. Later, we will call this a ratio or sometimes a percentage. But for now, we can understand it as using multiplication or division to compare 2 sets to know how many times one is as big as the other. This has been Math Teacher Barbie talking about comparing two quantities.